invariants. Let's look at things which are not going to change. What does it mean? It means your ability to simplify a problem into something and then focus on that and then execute. That's a great skill that any team requires. So whether you need that in your team as a business owner or a startup itself, or whether even in a large organization, they value such people who have the ability to simplify a problem, focus on that part, and divide and conquer, as it is called. Any problem might have many parts to it, but to simplify and very clearly say, okay, let's focus on this and let's solve this over the next 2 weeks or next 6 months or in this quarter. Then we will move to the next, or break them and do them in parallel, but to simplify and make sure that people understand that this is what we are doing in the team. Obsession with the end user and client. So it has to be that what does the end user want? If they don't want it, there is no point obsessing about it. You might have a great idea, but it doesn't make any difference to the client. You will find it out later, but at a great cost to yourself, right? Because customers may not be buying that. So what's the point, right? Understanding money and finance, because ultimately it has to become profitable. Yes, initially you will talk about valuations, but those valuations are by definition, they are the net present value of your projected future earnings as to how much business you are going to do over the next 10, 15, 20 years. And to an extent, yes, you see these valuations, there is a large part of speculation in it, but that's where if you go to these VCs, they have figured out that if I'm going to put money in 20 ventures, I put 1 million each in 20 ventures, 19 million will go away, one of them will make me 100 million, so I'm still better off. So in any case, they are also doing their risk reward behavior, because they know beyond a certain thing they can't predict. So they are spreading their bets, and they're okay to lose 19 million, and that 1 million will make them 100 million, or in fact insane multiple they most of them get, right? So that 1, 2 or 5 or 100 million that they invest, it becomes multiples, and they make billions out of it, right? So it's 100, 200, 300 kind of multiple. So again, you have to understand money and finances. And as a startup, you have to be very cost conscious, how much money you are burning every day, every month, right? Because you will run out of money. If you had 100 million, you might become successful, but if you have spent 20 million and now you don't have the rest of 80 million, that idea is dead. And this is where you have to figure out how to, pitch your deal, how to raise money, capital, etc. So money and finance becomes, important, right? So that's another part. The thing is, and again, these are invariant. This has always been true. It's just the rapidness of the change, the way things are happening, that has changed. But this was true 50 years and 100 years back also when you were starting the business. Understanding of human behavior, right? So psychology and consumer behavior. Why do they like a certain product? Why do they do not like a certain product? Or what features to build, in your software? Those kind of things are again very, very important now, because all these large companies, they are essentially directly in the goods and services that they provide, they directly touch the end users, the Facebook, the Googles, etc. Earlier, the large companies, like let's say General Electric, which is fine. Some of the people might have some of General Electric made refrigerators, right? But that's a small part of these business. But usually they would be making products which are not directly sold to individual users like you and me, right? But today, these giants, they are all, most of these goods and services, when you're talking, they are directly being marketed to the consumer. And that is why understanding of human behavior, that has become much more central, right? And that is where the usability design and all those kind of skill sets become more and more important. And of course, it goes without saying, all this is the disruption part is happening through the technology. So it's not like technology is not disrupting or it is not important or you don't have to focus on that. But that is the enabler, that is the drill. While you have to keep your focus on what does the customer want, right? Which could in the end be something as simple as, at the end of the day, Zoom and internet and all these technology, the simple thing is that I and you can talk. That is what the long and short of it is, right? And then you can see that how much more complexity comes into this the technology part just to make that happen, so that 15, 20, 30, 50 of us can do that, right? But in the end, we want to be able to talk to each other. Right? That's the end goal.